Jesus, the truth and why every white race man should know if he's real or not, especially now. Because if you have an IQ over 50 and if you're not blind, you should see that the white race is in extreme danger in Europe and in America. They want to kill us. It's a fact, and Jesus is part of all this. Jesus, why is he so important? Can't we just let believers believe and atheists not believe? This is what many think. No. Because the structure that the figure of Jesus belongs to has been controlling us for thousands of years. In Mesopotamia, Babylon, Egypt, with the Greeks and Romans, through the Middle Ages, and now we've been controlled. And this is the time they want to kill us. We live in the end time. Yeah, the end time from the Bible. But that's not religious, it's a factual plan. And there are many facts in the Bible. For example, the truth will set you free. If you don't totally understand it, put it on pause and think about it. Because if you know the whole truth, everything, then you will be free. But it's very difficult to understand the whole truth, and this has to do with control. We have been controlled, and you don't understand that. Most of you don't understand it. What you have to realize is that the past and our time are intertwined. They show this by using symbolism and religion of the past in today's world. For example, this god figure Mithra, he had like these symbolic sun rays, probably. Well, it's not about whether these are sun rays, it's about that it comes back in the Statue of Liberty in our time. They are showing this way that in the past they controlled the people through religion. They still do that, of course. But now, today, they also control us through other things, like the media, banks, all politicians that are bribed, all sorts of things. And they show it by using this symbolism from the past. They show that it's all about control. Like with this air company Virgin. Virgin refers to the mother of Jesus, because Jesus was born of a virgin, the Virgin Mary. Maybe you think, oh, that's a little far-fetched. No. Here is the fake entrepreneur Richard Branson. He's a real Satanist, Illuminati controlled. That means controlled by the Hasidic rabbis. You should really study that. The Hasidic rabbis, they are the Illuminati, the false Jews. It's not anti-Semitic, this. Al Gore and Richard Branson and many other famous people, almost all, are controlled by the Illuminati, the Satanists, the Hasidic rabbis. And they have shown us their plans through the Illuminati card game. But many intelligent people find it too far-fetched to believe that these plans are in a card game. Well, they are. This is just one example. There are many examples, 9/11 also, for example, of things that happened and that were before in the card game, like Al Gore with this global warming. And this is the plan for the new world order. It says on the cards, and it's not gonna be good. We will be totally controlled by the police, by the army. World War III will come. It will be hell on earth, and the white race will be killed. That's the plan. And they put this Kali on the Empire State Building when they had a congress about global warming in New York. And again they showed like this global warming, it's all fake. We, the Satanists, we fought it out. Like we fought out this religion in the past. That's what they are showing here. And this Kali is the death god of Hinduism. Hinduism is not about meditating and, oh, yeah, it's such a good religion. We go to a gym and we meditate. No. Parts of it are unbelievable. And in India, some people worshipped this Kali and they murdered millions of people. They choked them to death to honor Kali. I mean, that's the real world. And Miley Cyrus does the tongue. Everybody knows that. She does it to honor Kali. The same thing. The past and the present are intertwined. She has, for example, also these chains. This symbolizes that she's in the chains of Satan. She's a servant of Satan and she's owned by Satan. That's what this means. And with the Mayas, it was the same, the tongue. They incorporated it into the Mayan religion. Same thing. Same things keep coming back throughout history. Like, for example, here they put the eye in the sword of Kali. But it's the same eye from the Egyptian religion. It's the symbol for Satan, the all-seeing eye. It's in the dollar. The Freemasons use it. Like you saw this Richard Branson, Al Gore, Clinton, Bush. All these famous people, all these politicians, CEOs, musicians, artists, many of them, almost all, are Freemasons. Here they are. They all make the one eye sign. Because they are all controlled. And some know more, yes, that's true. And some know less. Yes, okay, that's true. But most of them probably know that they are the servants of Satan. It means they have to distract you with the music industry. So you don't study this stuff of the end of the white race and the takeover of the world by the Hasidic rabbis. That's it. You don't study it, you only listen to your stupid music all the time. I mean, they say, live like an animal, die like an animal. But that's the truth. It's very sad, but okay. Modern time, relatively modern, the Nazis, and they use the same symbol from Hinduism again, the swastika. From the Bible, the Tower of Babel, they built it symbolically, not exactly, but it represents the Tower of Babel in Brussels, in Europe. And here in Florence, with the Catholic Church, they made the eye of Satan, the all-seeing eye again. And it comes back in the Discovery show, Cosmos, a space-time odyssey. So this is our time, this is the past, and they use the same symbolism to show they are in control, the Satanists. With Egypt, they built these pyramids as an ode to Satan. And Merkel, she makes the pyramid sign because she's controlled, like Miley Cyrus. It's the same thing. She does exactly what the Hasidic rabbis tell her to do. Mass immigration in Germany. 800,000 black people a year. She's importing. The white race has to die. And with Hitler, he was controlled too. He murdered more Germans than anybody. And Obama, Putin, Trump too, of course, but there are not so many pictures. They are controlled. It's all about control. We have been controlled for thousands of years, and our controllers, the Hasidic rabbis, keep using the same symbolism through the ages. I've shown you that now. I could give hundreds of examples, but it's about the idea. It's a fact that this is happening. They want to use Jesus in the end time too, as something big from the past that is used today. That's why we have to know whether he's real or not. Well, the Jesus figure comes back in many religions. Like Horus, born of a virgin. He had the 12 disciples. There were the 3 kings, born on December the 25th, with Attis, born of a virgin, crucified, resurrected. Krishna performed miracles, resurrected, all the same things. Mitra, you just saw with the Statue of Liberty. 12 disciples, dead for 3 days, resurrected, all the same. That Jesus came to earth about 2000 years ago is the biggest event for all Christians, right? That's true. If the same event is described in other religions, and it is, then this significantly decreases the uniqueness of this event. It's true, of course. This is already proof that there's something wrong with Jesus. But I thought we need something bigger, something super that makes it immediately clear what's going on. And I found it. I saw the flag of Europe and suddenly I understood. These are 12 stars and they represent the star signs in the heavens. So our controllers, they like the stars very much. Also this Alcyone, it's the brightest star in the Pleiades. And the Pleiades, it also comes back at the Hoover Dam. That's strange. This is a picture that's made at the Hoover Dam. Well, that's strange. Because the Hoover Dam is planned to be blown up. That's why it's made so strange with 2 ovaries. It's really an incredible building. It's really incredible. But they made this to blow it up, and when the water comes, a baby is born. And that's the birth of the New World Order. You have the Twin Towers. When they were brought down, there was the conception of the New World Order. When this breaks, it's the birth of the New World Order. And the Sandover power plant, it has 2 boobies. Anybody can see it. You can deny it, but you cannot deny it. These are 2 boobies. Why are there 2 boobies? That's the question. This symbolizes the maturity of the New World Order. So conception, birth, maturity. That's what they made on planet Earth. This. And here they made a reference to Alcyone. Why? Well, why? Because they're crazy about the stars. For example, Venus, it's a very bright planet. It's a planet, not a star. And in the past, it was in Greek religion Aphrodite. Literally, they thought it was Aphrodite. And with the Babylonian religion, it was Ishtar. And with the Egyptians, it was Isis. And with the Mayans, it was Quetzalcoatl, this satanic figure. It was a totally different person that Venus symbolized. The Ras Al-Geti constellation, well, if you look here, it doesn't make much sense, but they make all these figures in the sky, then it's much easier to understand all these stars. Ras Al-Geti, it makes Hercules. And Hercules had these great works. I don't know, not many people know it, but he had all these adventures. And he fought, for example, a lion for 30 days. Well, this should make you think. Nobody can fight a lion, let alone for 30 days. But when there is a star sign of lion, Leo, then it makes sense because the sun moves through this star constellation for 30 days. And now it does make sense. Now we can understand that again Hercules is a symbol for the sun. And the sun moves through all these star signs and then they make a story with it. That's the working principle. And he has to fight a snake with all these heads and he cuts them all off except for one. Then he buries the snake. And we have another star sign, it's called Hydra, and it's in the heavens. There's the one snake because Hercules has one snake left with one snake head. There are many other star signs besides the 12 that everybody knows. Hydra, Vulture, Winch, Argo of the Argonauts, Triangle, Little Horse, Fox, Whale, Cub, Dragon, Unicorn, it's all there and many more. And they can make a lot of stories with it. For example, Hercules also shoots down 3 birds. But symbolically, he is Sagittarius. And the 3 birds are other star signs, the eagle, the swan, the vulture. And what happens in the sky is when these 3 star signs go down in heaven, Sagittarius goes up. So they made a story like Sagittarius shoots the 3 birds, but in reality it's just the stars moving. That's something, a working principle that is extremely clear with the adventures of Hercules that you should remember. He also cleans the stables, and there are the star signs of Eridanus and the water of Aquarius. These symbolize the rivers in the story. Well, there are many more. And he also has to fight a giant who has a dog. Well, here with the star constellation of Orion, you can make a giant. And here with Sirius, you can make a dog. It's the dog star, Sirius. So all these stories and gods and myths, they relate to star constellations. It's very simple. But it's not very well known, this working principle. And for example, Jason and the Fleece, well, that's a very interesting one, because it seems like a real story, but in reality there is this boat in the stars, the Argo. It's a star sign, and they made the whole story with this Castor and Pollux, but they are also in the stars. There are so many star signs, and they just made the whole story with Jason and the Fleece. It's not real, it's an interesting story. That's what they did. And Hercules was also one of the Argonauts. It's very interesting stories to read. But it's not more than that. And same with the Odyssey. It also has to do with the stars. And it takes too long to explain it all. But for example, Odysseus, he escapes from the giant from the cave with the sheep. But what it in reality means is that this star sign of Aries, it rises in the spring. So from the dark days in the cave, the Aries helps to bring us to the light, because it becomes spring and summer. And the dark days of winter are gone. That's what this part of the story symbolizes. And we also have these sirens. I mean, this is the most famous from the Odyssey story, probably. But these sirens, they are the Pleiades with the Alcyon. And the story here symbolizes that when you give in to your urges, like, oh, a beautiful woman, I have to have her, or the stock market, yeah, I should put my money in the stock market, or go to the casino, or drink too much. All these urges that we have to fight them. We cannot give in to every urge. Then we end up like this. They kill all the men. So it's a symbolic story. They use the stars again, the Pleiades in this case, to teach us a moral story. And maybe now a bell is ringing in your head like, moral story? Jesus is the biggest moral story, of course. So again, the working principle is very simple and also a little bit interesting. You have these stars and they make a nice story with it. That's it. And the Pleiades also come back in our time. With Subaru, this car brand, they have in their logo the Pleiades with Alcyon, the brightest star. It's in the Hoover Dam, as I showed you. And they also use it in front of the ECB, the European Central Bank. And Sirius, the dog star, is in the dollar. Well, in the heavens are also the dragon. That's where it comes from, this dragon. It's an interesting story. Put it on pause and read it, because it has to do with volcanoes. These dragons, by the gods, they are put under the earth, and they now are the volcanoes that erupt. That's a logical story behind these dragons. There are no dragons, of course. It's again a mythical story, and very interesting. And with Pegasus, this horse, it's also very interesting, because it symbolizes that we can be lifted above the earthly with this horse, with Pegasus. Pegasus helps us to fight evil. Like in a story, they make it the monster Chimera, it says here. But this monster Chimera is not real. It's the phantom, the lies, the shrewd. It could be the story of global warming, the Holocaust made up to make the white man feel guilty about nothing. Or ISIS, or unfortunately even Jesus, when you become apathic and only hope instead of take action. And that's what this Pegasus helps you fight. It empowers you. It's a very interesting story. Put it on pause and read it. You can really learn something from it. And the star constellation of Aries, with the Egyptians, it was Ra, the highest god. The god Amun-Ra was symbolized by the star sign of Taurus. That's why they made this image with which resembles a little bit this star sign. And Sirius, the dog star with the Egyptians, well, it also makes sense. They called this one Anubis. That's where it all comes from. So again, working principle, very simple, it comes from the stars, and they made figures for religions. And the stories of heroes in reality are about the sun moving through star constellations, and they make fitting, interesting stories. Often they are related to change of seasons, sometimes stars and planets on their own are gods, and stories are thought out fitting their abilities, character, and the people they rule. That's how they made up all these stories, all these religious stories. Well, then we come to Jesus. Does the same working principle apply with Jesus? That's the big question, of course. And we look into it. Well, the Bible is highly likely to be from alien origin. I'm not saying that without proof. There are 2 alien references that humans could never have come up with at the time. Maybe they could have now, but not then. Okay, does the same thing apply to Jesus? This basic working principle, that there's something in the sky, and with a star or a star constellation, they made the figure of Jesus, and it's the big moral story. Well, let's see. First of all, the Bible is highly likely to be from alien origin. I know it sounds crazy, but there are 2 alien references that humans never could have come up with at that time, about 2000 years ago. Maybe they could have now, I admit it, but not 2000 years ago. And one of these alien references nobody has ever discovered until recently. This is Revelation 9:11. For they have a master over them, the angel of the bottomless pit. And the bottomless pit is a wormhole. And the angel of the bottomless pit is Satan, of course. And Satan is symbolic for the aliens. And it is explained in a children's cartoon. Yeah, then it seems like it cannot be true, but okay, let's see. Well, it says here bottomless pit from the Bible, and they came out of it.
I think any time has passed.
And he says, I don't think any time has passed. And what they show in other publications, that in a wormhole there's no gravity and there's no time. And he emphasizes like, yes, this is really a wormhole because no time has passed.
It must be some kind of wormhole.
Well, he actually says it. And this Gravity Falls is full of information, and the people that made Gravity Falls know exactly what the world is about. And I will show that a little bit further. So Revelation 9:11, the bottomless pit, you just saw it, is in reality about aliens moving through a wormhole. And in Ezekiel this is confirmed. It says, and I saw a fire enfolding itself, and out of the midst thereof came 4 creatures that had the likeness of man. So Ezekiel saw a fire in the sky, and there came 4 aliens that looked like men. Because he didn't say like, I saw fire in the sky and 4 men stepped out. No, they had the likeness of man. But okay, many people have said that this Ezekiel is highly likely to be about aliens. When you combine it with Revelation 9:11, it's no wonder that 9/11 happened on 9/11, of course. Then it becomes much clearer. Wormhole is the bottomless pit, the aliens, that's Satan, and they move through it. That's probably the truth. I'm convinced of that after a lot of studying. So you have the aliens, and then you have the Hasidic rabbis. The aliens, they set out the big lines, and the Hasidic rabbis, they do the actual work for them. And they have written the Bible, for example, and they put things in the aliens want to have in. In our time, they made gravity false, and it's made by a Zionist Jew, of course, Alex Hirsch. Like, all movies and series are produced by Zionist Jews. Have you ever noticed? Cannot be a coincidence, of course. So again, they put a lot of information about the Bible and about how the world really works in a publication. This is a publication with a lot of truths in the past. This is a publication with a lot of truths in modern times. And it's very hard for engineers, pilots, successful businessmen to accept that the truth could be in the Bible, or let alone in a children's cartoon. They cannot accept it. But that's the whole trick. You are tested. Are you really that stupid to watch TV and the newspapers that are clearly controlled, and you believe everything? And you will not look seriously into a children's cartoon because it's a children's cartoon, and because somebody told you, you have to watch the news and read the newspapers. That's a test. That's a test. And there are also in the Bible the three wise. The three wise, they are the three stars in the Orion constellation. And these three stars in the Orion constellation are used a lot in myths and stories. So, for example, like the three spinsters. The first one created the thread, that's the birth, that's your birth. The second one spins the thread, that's the life we live. And the third one cuts it, that's death. And this story is made up with the three stars from the Orion constellation. And it's of course no wonder that the three wise men of the East are the three stars of the Orion constellation. Many people in the past have said that, and it's probably true. And these three stars are also used with the Pyramid of Gizeh. The Orion constellation with these three stars is very important for our controllers. And the three wise, they use the pole star as their guidance. And now we're getting closer and closer to the truth, of course. And Gravity Falls, this children's cartoon, gives us the truth again. But first, let's look at, this is the Big Dipper, it's called. Dipper is the main person in Gravity Falls, that says it all. And this is the Small Dipper. These are star constellations in the sky. And the Small Dipper has the pole star. And I don't know if you know it, but the pole star is, from the millions and millions of stars in the sky, is the only star for us that's different. Because the pole star is directly above the pole. It means the Earth spins and all the stars for us move, or they seem to move, we move, the Earth spins, but there's one star that never moves because it's directly above us. If we spin, it always stays in the same position. So there is only one star from the millions and millions that is different for us. And now, of course, we get to the obvious truth, the working principle that star constellations, stars and planets in the skies, they made them into gods. But they did, of course, the same thing with Jesus. It's crystal clear. The pole star is Jesus. There can be no doubt. And this pole star, I saw it. I never looked at it, but this winter I looked at it, and it's extremely impressive if you know it, because it shines so bright, much brighter than all the other stars. If you can take a look at it, you should, because then it immediately shows you that this star is different because it doesn't move, but it's also different because it's so bright. It's very impressive. And now we get, of course, to the 12 apostles. That's supporting evidence, because it's no coincidence, just like the story of Hercules, for example. that there are 12 apostles. Hercules had to do 12 works, because these apostles, they represent the regular star signs that everybody knows, like Virgo, Cancer, and all these other things that we are when we are born. We are one of these star signs. And of course, many people have found that out. And also some people have matched them to the star signs. Like Simon is Aries, Thaddeus is Taurus. And we go to the most important one that everybody knows is Judas, of course. And Judas is Scorpio, the scorpion. Well, it does make some sense. If you had to choose one, I think it would be Scorpio. So I'm not the first one to find that out. I found out later that many more people have matched Jesus to the sun. Well, I don't think he's the sun. I think he's the pole star, and I will prove that. But many people who have studied it said, okay, Jesus is the sun, and then you have the 12 apostles, and they are the 12 star signs. Well, okay, it doesn't matter much whether he's the sun or the pole star. Okay, it doesn't really matter. But it's about the principle. There is no Jesus. Nobody is going to save you. It's just another story based on stars that the Hasidic rabbis and probably aliens love so much. Who would love the stars so much to put it in all these religions everywhere and at Hoover Dam? Well, aliens, they come from space. That makes sense. So we have the aliens, the Hasidic rabbis do the work for them on earth, and they wrote the Bible and Gravity Falls. And Gravity Falls explains who Jesus is. So they explained about the wormhole, the bottomless pit. You saw it, they had a sign, it said bottomless pit. And Dipper said, that looks like a wormhole. And then he said, I think no time has passed. They emphasized that it's really a wormhole. It's produced by a Zionist Jew, Alex Hirsch. They used, for example, the dollar, the all-seeing eye, satanic eye. They made a figure of it with a pyramid and the all-seeing eye. And this is, in Gravity Falls, this is the space demon. They say it in the series. The evil space demon. So they say again, it's aliens. And yes, people in the series, they make a deal with the devil. He is Satan. But in reality, Satan is a symbol for the space aliens, the aliens that come from space. And they make the pyramid sign with the eye in the series. And he comes from space. And space, when he comes, enters Earth, space is burning around him. Like with Ezekiel, he said, I saw a fire enfolding itself. Bible, Gravity Falls, the same thing. The Mayans, they put it in here too. And Mabel, she's the sister from Alice in Wonderland. In Alice in Wonderland, the sister of Alice is named Mabel. This is a reference to Alice in Wonderland, where there's also some things hidden. Egyptian time, they put it in there. The pyramids that Merkel makes, put it in there. Hinduism, they put it in there. The glass pyramid that Pink Floyd also uses is from the Kabbalah, because in the Kabbalah they say Satan, that's also symbolized by a pyramid, made all the beautiful colors from the rainbow. That's why they put this here. And Horus from Egyptian time. You will still say, oh, that's coincidence. That Horus, the Mayans, and the Egyptians, all these things come back in this series. It's no coincidence. Because these people know everything. They show it here, it's difficult to see, but this is then this Bill Cipher from the dollar, this all-seeing eye in the pyramid. And these are people on earth, and they're worshipping this figure that represents the aliens, the evil aliens from space. What they are showing with this picture is that all these religions come from the aliens, what I'm also saying all the time. Our controllers are the Hasidic rabbis but the aliens are above them and they fought out all the religions. And here you can see the deal that this Bill Cipher, who symbolizes the aliens, made with an old man. And this old man, probably he symbolizes the Hasidic rabbis, a group of old men. So what's happening on earth is that we are controlled by a coalition, well it says here alliance contractors, that we are controlled by a group of old men that stays in power generation after generation, that has made a deal with the devil, with the aliens. This is, I'm convinced this is the truth about our world. And I'm not convinced because I believe, but because all the facts are pointing to this. And in this Gravity Falls, at the end, they also show how we can save ourselves. Because the Bible and Gravity Falls, they are almost the same. And in the Bible, we have the end time, that is now. And in Gravity Falls, there's also the end time. And they show that the people save themselves and conquer evil, the aliens, when they all work together. They also shown this in this song, Under Pressure, from Queen and David Bowie. The same message. We have to do it together. And they show here in Gravity Falls that it's very difficult for people to work together, especially for nerds. But it's the only thing that can save us. I don't know if it's possible, but they show it. And now we get to this Jesus figure, because what does Dipper have on his forehead? He has a birthmark, they say. But I showed you this star constellation of the Big Dipper, and you can see it's exactly the same. Like you have here this sort of square with this here, and it's here a square with this. It's exactly 100% the same. It's what they mean. And we have the Big Dipper and the Small Dipper. Well, he is a child. So they give us a hint, like look to the Big Dipper, and there you will find the Small Dipper. That's him. He's a child. He's Small Dipper. And what does Small Dipper have in the star constellation? The pole star, Jesus. And Dipper in Gravity Falls is Jesus. Not literally. He doesn't die at the cross and is resurrected. But he is the one that saves mankind. He is the Jesus figure. He saves mankind. He tries very hard to find out all the secrets and at the end save mankind. And in the cartoon he succeeds. But okay, reality is a totally different story. But they tell us everything. But the problem is that you cannot accept the truth. That's the big problem. They give us the truth in a hard to accept way. But okay, that's the test. I mean, yeah. And that Jesus the star, the pole star, is confirmed with this musical. Maybe some of you know Jesus Christ Superstar. Yeah, here's a star in the back. And now you can understand why. Because the pole star is the superstar. It's so impressive when you see it at night. It shines so bright and it's always in the same place. We can always rely on Jesus, well, symbolically. And we can always rely on the pole star because it's always at the same place. And that's the difference between millions of stars and this one star, this superstar. And of course, the aliens, the Hasidic rabbis that work with them, they know all this stuff because they fought it out. And in the Bible, they have Jesus. In the musical, they tell us the truth. This is a modern version of this musical. But again, here you see Jesus with the star. It's the same thing. They know it because you live in a matrix of control. And these aliens, they tell the Hasidic rabbis what to do. And the Hasidic rabbis, they are the false Jews. They tell the Zionist Jews what to do. And the Zionist Jews, they produce this musical, for example. That's how it works. So it's not the sun, Jesus is the pole star. And here's the pole star. And I thought, well, if here's the pole star, then by logic, probably there's a cross somewhere around here. Well, there is. You cannot see it because it's too small, but here it says Polaris, the pole star, and here it says crux. In Latin, it means cross. So, okay, it's a bit clearer here. The pole star and the cross. Well, that's pretty impressive. But this line, it moves through a star constellation. And you saw with Hercules, with the snake. Well, yes, and it moves through the star constellation of the snake. And that's important because this snake plays an important part in the Bible. So it gets more and more convincing. Moses with the snake, very suspicious. This whole Moses figure is very suspicious. Did he aid the Jews or did he mislead them? More and more people are understanding that probably Moses was misleading these poor Jews by making them victims. What we also have here is Orion with the three wise. So there are many important things from the Bible in the stars. That's incredible. Because we have the 12 apostles in the sky. We have Jesus, the incredible, impressive pole star in the sky. The snake, the cross, and the three wise. That's unbelievable. I never had any idea. And then I started studying all this stuff. And I found this out. It's incredible. The most important things from the Bible, they are in the sky. And then they made a whole moral story with it. Just like Hercules, Jason and the Fleece, the Odyssey. This is the hallmark of the aliens that control us on Earth through religions. They take the stars, very interesting, and they use them to make figures, gods, interesting people like the three wise and the apostles, and they make a whole story of it. I am convinced this is the truth. And this is totally opposite of all these internet videos. It's no far-fetched reasoning. It's also clear. Basic facts are shown that all fit like a glove. Why does everything fit so perfectly? Because it's the truth. And all these insider publications, the Bible, Gravity Falls, the Illuminati card game, songs, books, etc., give us the truth in a hard to understand way. That's why if you compare the Illuminati card game to the Bible, to Gravity Falls, the Protocols of Zion, all these things are connected because they all come from the same source. Well, religions first took planets and stars constellations, named them gods. Even stories were written with the stars, planets and their trajectories as a basis. With Jesus it's exactly the same. The pole star is Jesus, it's clear as day. 12 apostles are the 12 star signs. The snake is the star constellation of the snake. The three wise are the three stars from the Orion constellation, and the cross is the star constellation roughly opposite to the pole star. That's it. And there's also supporting evidence. Like for example, somebody looked into the painting of Leonardo da Vinci of the Last Supper of Jesus, and then he mirrored it, and then he found out.
But what happens when you invert it right down the middle? See this line underneath Jesus' eye? When you invert it right where you're supposed to, right down the middle, and you do the whole thing, not like they did, but you do it the correct way, you get this. It is an absolutely jaw-dropping image of a transformation of Jesus Christ. In this image, there are a lot of startling things that happen in this image. As you can see, he takes the third eye on the forehead. And this is real deal, folks. This reminds me of the Jesus with the eye on his head out of iPad Go 2.
Okay, this guy is very smart and he does the right thing. He combines things from the past with things now, today. This iPad Go 2 that he refers to is a modern video that they made about the end time. World War III, 9/11, Obama, Bush, it's all in there. Maybe Trump, I didn't study it recently. It's all in there. And in iPad Go 2, they also put religions of the past. It's the same basic working principle comes back every time. This is a very smart guy.
It's exactly what it reminds me of. And the detail in it is precise to a T.
This is really incredible. Look at this figure. I mean, the King of Kings from the Bible, Jesus. I mean, it's in there. And he is an alien, of course. That is implied here, or shown here. Jesus, the alien. Does it mean that Jesus was real and he was an alien? I don't think so. It means this is an idea from the aliens. Jesus is an alien idea. That's what they show here. And Leonardo da Vinci, as a human, could he have made something like this? No, I don't think so. With a paintbrush, make something so precise, so exact. I think he was aided with modern technology of our time then. He was aided by aliens. How could he have made, with simple paint brushes and paint, a figure so precise and so small? Ill Bill. This is just another alien publication. It's derived from the movie Kill Bill. They love metaphors, references to publications. First they made the movie Kill Bill, kill the dollar bill. Yeah, that's true. It's coming. They're gonna kill the dollar bill. Hyperinflation. And they derived this person Ill Bill. And he's an alien messenger. It's every time Leonardo da Vinci was an alien messenger, and now it's Ill Bill. Yeah, very simple, this is the truth. And he says in his songs, a false alien invasion is planned. Well, this is confirmed in other sources. He says, our controllers want to create famine. This is also an Illuminati card game. They will do it through false Al-Qaeda poisoning of food. He's looking it up. He's warning of this in his songs. The end time is going to be really, really bad. Much worse than you can imagine. You will be walking through the streets without a house, without anything, looking for food. That's what he has told us. And he also says Doomsday was written in an alien Bible. So he says it's all alien people. And he also says if Jesus was a person, then who was Mitra? Who was the first to give their life for someone else's redemption? He's mocking you. He's being sarcastic. Who was the first to give their life for somebody else's redemption? Like, it implies that it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. But many people are so weak, they rather believe anything that is hopeful than see the truth and deal with it. That's the problem of people. And David Bowie, 100% inside. Here you see him with the Kabbalah, this Kabbalah schedule, and he's making it here. 100% insider. He was also talking about the aliens and Jesus. One of his first songs of this creep was "Oh You Pretty Things." I think about the world to come. Let me make it plain. You gotta make way for the Homo superior. Look at your children. See them. Don't kid yourself. They belong to you. They're the start of a coming race. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. All the strangers, well, aliens of course, came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. So one of his first songs was that there are aliens, they're taking over, and you will be wiped out. There's no need for you anymore. You will be killed. That's one of his first songs. That's incredible. And one of his last songs is about aliens, and it says on his tabloid, "Alien lives next door." That's incredible, because this person knows so much. He also made a song, "Loving the Alien," and there's an alien in the video. hanging by the cross and nail. That's Jesus. This song, Loving the Alien, is about Jesus. It's confirmed here. It's 100%, he just says it, Jesus is an alien, or an alien idea. Believing the strangest things, loving the alien. It's incredible. But it's not about the text, that's crystal clear. Jesus isn't how he is described in the Bible. He is an alien, or an alien idea. It's about who says it. How much in the know was David Bowie? Do we have to take this serious? That's the essence, that's the question, of course. Well, you saw him with the Kabbalah. You saw his lyrics about aliens. He made a video with aliens in it. He made a moral judgment about the nuclear bombs on Japan. It was, of course, the lowest of the lowest that has ever happened on Earth, almost. Hitting an all-time low, he sang. How could America have done that? He sang about space travel around the time of the false moon landing. He sang the Song of Songs about 9/11 before it happened, under pressure. It's about 9/11, watch it. It's about 9/11, 100%, before it happened. So you have in the know, and then you have the level of I know everything. And David Bowie is probably close to the level I know everything. If his lyrics were short essays instead of songs, he could have been a Hasidic rabbi. So, do we have to take any information from David Bowie extremely serious because he's an insider? Yes. So when he says, David Bowie, that Jesus is an alien, you have to take it serious. So, it's confirmation. And on his last album, they made a devil star with a code here. And this devil star represents numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here the sum of these numbers. And underneath this, you take these two parts, is this. And this is the whole star. And this is this part. And then you take the numbers of these parts and you add them up. And then you get these numbers and they make, when you add them up, the number 69. So the code on his last album, there's a devil star with a code, and this code makes 69. And why does it make 69? Because it's a joke. David Bowie dies age 69, well this is 69, of cancer. And this is the sign for cancer. So they hit his age and the sign for cancer on his album. Which means that his death is probably not real. It's all a game again. A satanic game. And this is important because it shows you that they're playing all these games all the time, even with the death of David Bowie. And he made a song, I'm Underground. So probably David Bowie, who died of cancer supposedly, but he looked so healthy. Cancer? Really? No, not really, no cancer. He's probably underground. It's a game. It's a whole game. So, loving the alien is a statement which we should take serious. It also fits perfectly with other hints. And the music industry is totally controlled, and they made an album, The Jesus Lizard. Well, you heard people probably say, like the aliens, they are alien lizards. So again, confirmation, Jesus is one of the alien lizards, or an idea. I think he's an idea of the alien lizards. And this is very interesting because the biggest statue of Jesus is in Brazil. But Brazil first was a Portuguese colony. And the Jesuit order, yes, again, they were the Zionist Jews from Spain. And Spain and Portugal are very close. So when Brazil was a colony of Portugal, this Jesuit order was hanging around there. You can look it up in the history books. And if we take a look at the name Brazil and we turn it around, that's another thing the Satanists like to do, turn it around. We get lizard, and it doesn't mean much. But if we make the B bigger, all of a sudden it makes lizard. And that's incredible. Can it be any clearer? Yeah, it's not Brazil and lizard, but this is even better. because it's better hidden, and at the same time, when you know it, it's so clear. This is arguably the best word trick, there are many word tricks everywhere, the aliens or Hasidic rabbis ever thought out. The B makes a D on the bottom. And it becomes more interesting, this word trick, and better hidden. So, the only country in the world that spells lizard backwards, and that has the biggest statue of Jesus, is Brazil. Well, 1 and 1 still equals 2. It cannot be. There are too many coincidences. I hope you not keep saying, oh, coincidence, coincidence. It doesn't work that way. It's same as in court. There can be proof, and you say coincidence, coincidence, coincidence. It's no. When there's enough proof, the coincidence turns into proof, convincing proof. And with this Jesus in Brazil, lizard, Brazil, it's exactly the same thing. And now we come to Jesus the Messiah as a hologram is planned. Because we have this Illuminati card game, and it had Al Gore with his fake global warming is part of this plan. We have Alex Jones and Ron Paul, they are in this card game, secretly mocking our friends. They fool everyone. There are still people that believe that Alex Jones is the good guy and Ron Paul. But they're not. They're giving you part of the truth. The government is too big. Yes, but they never tell you the Hasidic rabbis almost totally control the government. That's the truth. And they don't tell you that because they are Satanists. Combined disasters. Japan, the tsunami and the earthquake. It happened on 3/11. Like 9/11, they love the 11. Flesh-eating bacteria. It's horrible, but also these small things, they also happened. The Aurora Theater, the attack, also happened. Look, it looks almost the same here. It has this strange design, and here are all these beams everywhere. They put it also in other publications, I don't know why. And here the Satanic Six. This is totally 100% thought out to take the guns of the Americans. That's why you have all these false shootings. 9/11 is in there. Attack at the Pentagon. Isolationism of Trump, what he's doing now, it's also in there. Trump himself is also in the card game, by the way. Howard Stern is in there. To change your culture, and to mislead you. That's why he exists. He says, yeah, 9/11, yeah, it was Bin Laden, yeah. No, it wasn't. It was Israel. It was the Zionist Jews. And he is one of them. Howard Stern, he has a German name like so many Zionist Jews. I keep saying Zionist Jews because many Jews are innocent, they have nothing to do with it. It's the evil part of the Jews. So why do you show this? So you get all these factual, real things from the Illuminati card game and understand it's a real plan. Also the Elders of Zion, the Podcast of Zion, the New World Order, gun control. They want to take the guns of the Americans. Last hope of America, of the world, the guns. It's all there, it's all real. And what is on one of the last cards? The Messiah, the second coming of Jesus. And this, if you're a Christian and you believed in Jesus, your stomach should turn. Because you have been fooled. Jesus cannot be real and be part of this Illuminati card game. The plan for the New World Order. It's impossible. And you know it if you don't lie. And in general it's called Project Bluebeam. Like they have planned a hologram of Jesus in the sky after all these horrible things that are planned for the end time. It's second coming of Jesus. people will be so desperate that they believe it. And you think like, oh, a hologram in the sky, difficult? No, not difficult. They already did it in Sweden with Obama, with the Nobel Prize. They put this hologram in the sky. It symbolizes a wormhole, like is described in the Bible, exactly. 9/11. They have a master over them, the master of the bottomless pit, the wormhole. That's why they showed it. They showed like, we control Obama. And it's in the Illuminati card game. Obama in the 80s, they already made his face, and it's pretty fitting. And Nobel Peace Prize, it's also in there. Sorry, it's all in there because it's such a detailed plan. Well, the 33 and the 66. I mean, Jesus was on earth for 33 years. The Freemasons have all these medals with 33 being the highest grade. I mean, the coincidence, it stops somewhere. It all comes from the same source. They probably like the 3 times 11, and 11 probably symbolizes the 2 pillars of the Temple of Solomon, Jachin and Boaz, and the Twin Towers, they symbolize these 2 pillars. It's all connected. Everything is connected. So we have the aliens, and then we have the Hasidic rabbis, and they made up the figure of Jesus, who was on earth 33 years, and they made up the Freemasons. And 33 is the highest grade in this bullshit Freemasons. It means nothing, it's just made up. But everything is made up by them to control us. And the number of Bible books, there are 66 Bible books. Again, the 6 of Satan times the satanic 11. Wow. Yeah, it keeps piling up. Coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. But it's too much of a coincidence, of course. Jesus is the ultimate satanic trick. That's what Jesus is. And I will show you that they confirm this in movies.
It's taken some work, but I finally have him. The worst of the worst. Where? Let's just say I put him in a hole to away the hole.
There's rumors, Amanda, that some of them have abilities.
Oh yeah, I have seen things. Maybe Superman was some kind of beacon for them to creep back from the shadows. I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet who I think can do some good.
They're bad guys.
Exactly. And if anything goes wrong, we blame them. We have built-in deniability.
What makes you think you can control them?
Because getting people to act against their own self-interest is what I do for a living.
Did you hear that? This is unbelievable. This is a publication, Suicide Squad, this movie, from the Hasidic rabbis, just like the Bible was a publication from the Hasidic rabbis. You have to keep thinking in a very structured way. And they give us secrets. And listen to what she says.
Because getting people to act against their own self-interest is what I do for a living.
Because getting people to act against their self-interest is what I do for a living. So she fools these people to do something that they should not do. And that's also the essence of Jesus. The bad part of Jesus. You become like an animal or so, following this figure. That's the danger of the Jesus figure. That you become apathic. Okay, so conclusion. Star constellation planets are gods. That's very simple. Like Venus was Quetzalcoatl with the Mayans. Aphrodite with the Greeks, and you had Sirius, the dog star, it was Anubis, and you had this Aries, that was Ra. I mean, with Jesus it's the same thing. You have the pole star, it's the most impressive star for us on earth, and it became Jesus. That's it. And the stories, there's a whole story of Jesus, but the stories are just made up. Like with Hercules, Jason and the Fleas, some people think it's also true in the Odyssey. But there are millions of stories written every day. I mean, all these movies and books, millions of them. People make up stories. That's it. Very simple. Jesus is made up with the stars in mind. He's a test of character. If you're weak and you have no character or will, Jesus is your savior and you become a weak follower and then you are killed. This is what they meant in this movie Suicide Squad. They get you to act against your own self-interest. You're not finding out about bribed politicians and that wars are set up and that mass immigration has to kill the white race. Because the only thing you do is worshipping Jesus. Do you understand that? You worship a star. And you become like a sheep. People become sheeple with this Jesus. And then you get killed. But if you have some will and you can think independently, Jesus can be your inspiration to do like him and try to save the white race. So this is not zeitgeist or so. I'm not saying, oh, Jesus is bad. Yeah, he is bad if you worship him, if you're not human anymore. But he can also help you as an inspiration. That's the however. Jesus is our Savior if we do like he teaches us. So Jesus says, don't lie. There are all these black people around me everywhere and I don't like it because I'm not black. That's the truth. And I cannot lie because I don't want to lie, but also because Jesus taught us, don't fucking lie. If I ask white people, what do you think of all these black people all around you? These Muslims or Mexicans in America? Okay, yeah, no, I have no problem with that. No. And their eyes go down. They lie. But if you follow Jesus in a good way, you tell the truth. You cannot lie anymore. And Jesus is our downfall if we expect him to save us and become passive. And that's exactly what he was fought out for. That's what he explained in his movie Suicide Squad. It works so well that many people that really believe are not even afraid of dying anymore. That's a perfect trap. So, I'm not zeitgeist. I'm not saying away with Jesus. I'm saying be inspired by Jesus and guided by what he did and do. That's the essence. Do like Jesus. Do like he teaches us. But don't be a coward and worship him, because then you die and they think you deserve to die because you're a coward and a liar. That's the essence. Like, for example, these American soldiers, the heroes. Really? The psychopath murderers that murder everybody around the world, and they say they're Christians. They are not Christians. On holiday I met a Croatian guy that refused to fight in the Croatian-Serbian war in the 90s. It was also set up by Chinese Jews. He said, in the Bible it says, thou shalt not kill, so I refused. That's of course a super example of what we all should do. But how is it possible that there are so many Christians and this guy is an exception? You cannot be a Christian, a believer in Jesus, and a soldier at the same time. It clearly says in the Bible that you should not kill, so it's impossible. So all these Christian soldiers are hypocrites. And that's what the Bible even warns for. Don't be a hypocrite. Wow, this Bible, it's a genius work. The Genius Bible is full of logic and advice that could save us. You have the inspiring figure of Jesus as an example how we should treat each other. I'm only warning you not to fall for the satanic trap that is following Jesus and becoming passive. That is fought out with this Jesus figure. And in modern times, like we have the music industry, and evil activities is an act in the music industry. It's not a band, it's more of an act. And they made the song Invasion, and they sing about the new motherfucking world order, new world order. They literally say the new world order is coming, invasion. And you've arrived to the countdown to Armageddon is all in there. This is where the motherfucking streets were. Like, it's all gonna be destroyed. And they are satanic. They are satanic. And they tell us everything. And what do they have on the stage? A cross. Because, again, the music industry is controlled by them. And they wrote the Bible. So it makes sense that in a controlled music industry, from the same people, aliens, Hasidic rabbis that wrote the Bible, the cross is coming back. And it is. They are implying religions are fought out by satanic people. And you have more recent example with Daft Punk. And he has, in this video, the rapper The Weeknd, he has a cross. But he's also making the satanic sign. So they are implying again, like, yeah, okay, all well, this Bible and the cross and Jesus, but hey, come on people, it's satanic. It's satanic. It's all alien, probably, but satanic certainly. And in this video, he is a Starboy. Starboy is of course an alien. And they have a picture of aliens. And this Daft Punk gives us a lot of messages that it's aliens, aliens, aliens. And I think it's true. The aliens and the religions and now the music industry, they're all intertwined. And you have a Russian band, Iced Earth. And they have all these references to the past, plagues of Babylon. Then we were already controlled, and time of Egypt, framing Armageddon. And they work with the 666, like also is in Google, 666 hidden. Yeah, really, sorry. Crucible of Man. They're gonna kill the white race. And what's so strange, they have all these alien lizards on the front of their albums. That's saying something? Probably. Here, the alien lizard. Yeah. I mean, it's all alien. And what did they put in their artwork on one of the albums? Jesus at the cross. Why would a clearly satanic band with aliens in it, alien lizards, do that? Probably because they know the whole truth, that he is part of this satanic plan. But okay, if you want to believe in Jesus, do it the right way. Don't lie, because he taught people not to lie. Why are you lying then? If someone you admire taught you not to lie, then you should not lie, of course. Then you're believing in Jesus the right way. And this picture of Jesus with the children, I mean, this is such an incredibly good artist who made this. It's really incredible. Because these children are so happy with Jesus. So happy. But this Jesus figure, he's looking so suspicious to these children. Probably the artist who made this knows about the satanic trick of Jesus. This is so depressing, that all these sweet little children that exist now today, of course, also put their hope in a figure that will not help them, cannot help them. Their parents have to do it. That's the trick. a satanic trick. And I can show you what happens when you become passive. Because in Russia before 1917 they believed in Jesus. What they should have done is studied the wisdom of the Bible. In the Bible it says, for example, beware of the false Jews, for they worship Satan. So what you should do is find out, who are these false Jews then? Oh, they are the Hasidic rabbis. They worship Satan, the Zionist Jews. This is a concrete Bible warning. So if you believe in the Bible, why don't you take this serious? And Jesus even warned of the Jews. He did. But then people who believe, they put that aside. They ignore it. They don't want to talk about it. You have to accept the whole truth. Putin said after the revolution 1917, up to 80-85% of the first Soviet Union government members were Jews. So you had a revolution in 1917 set up by the Zionist Jews. I keep calling them Zionist Jews because they're also good Jews. And they took over Russia. And then they started mass murdering these poor, innocent Russian children that you just saw with Jesus. And what did these children do? They went to church. They believed in Jesus more than we do today. And this is how they ended. Because they fell in the satanic trap. Jesus is a trap. Jesus is a trap. And they fell in the trap. And you don't have to fall in the trap. If you fall in the trap of Jesus, it's even more stupid, because you have this example of Russia. But Jesus can also be our Savior if we do like Him. Why is this kept out of your history books? Why don't you know about this? Because we live in a matrix of control. Why is nobody discussing Russia and the Zionist Jews on TV? Because TV is controlled. Why am I not taught this in history lessons? Because they control everything. Why is everybody around me becoming black, Muslim or Mexican? I can answer that for you. Because they want to kill you. They want to kill the white race. I keep saying it again and again because it's the truth. They want to kill the white race. And in the music industry, you have this is comparable to the Bible. Like you have the Bible, Gravity Falls, and you have Rings of Saturn. And Rings of Saturn, they explain everything. It's aliens, 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 and we made up the religions to fool you, to control you. And they tell us many things. You are corrupt. Yes, we are. You are not worthy, you have too many emotions, you follow, you don't think. And what do they say? They're going to kill you, kill you, kill you, kill you. It's always killing. And then they say that, for there is no one watching over you. They're just like Il Bill said, if Jesus was real, then who is Mitra? I mean, it's not real. Sorry, he's not real. Follow Jesus and die. That's the whole trick. But you get a chance. Like always with these Satanists, aliens, Illuminati, you get a chance. If enough of us do like Jesus, we save ourselves, and then Jesus is our Savior after all. So I'm not denouncing Jesus. Just like in the Matrix of Neo, they said in the beginning of the movie, someone said, Neo, you are my personal Jesus. Like in this song, your own personal Jesus. So you can be just like Jesus. Telling the truth, trying to save the white race. I can be a personal Jesus to you. And you can be a personal Jesus for someone else. That was in this movie where so much was hidden. So many truths were told in the Matrix. Your own personal Jesus. very important. But one Jesus figure is not, that's a trick again. In the Matrix, it was Neo with a few people, but in reality, that's impossible, of course. We need thousands of people to tell the truth. And in the Illuminati card game, it's from the same source as the Bible, of course. They say there is no religion higher than truth. So this is from the Jews, the two pyramids intertwined, Egyptian religion, the Bible, Hinduism, Quran, the Islam. All these things are not higher than the truth. So the truth is the highest thing. They say it also in the Bible. The truth will set you free. And they said they perished because they did not love the truth. And that it is in the past tense doesn't matter. This is meant for us. They perished because they didn't love the truth. You should make a choice between the truth that will set you free, or you keep lying. Do you want to go to university or a college and then more than half of the people is black? Do you want that? Are you going to say the truth, or are you going to lie? If you keep lying, we will perish, the white race. And the Bible also says, don't fool yourself that you don't have to take action. Isn't that a wow? Isn't that incredible? This is not religious. It's factual advice how we can save ourselves. It's incredible. That's really incredible. The truth, action, that's what the Bible says. I will add guns to that. Not to kill, but to empower you and stick together. The Bible has a genius line for that too. I'm only strong when I'm weak. It means when I admit that I cannot do it alone, then I'm weak, but at the same time, then I'm strong, because then you can help me. And only together we can do this. So the Bible is genius, because it comes from the aliens that are smarter than us. So don't denounce the Bible or Jesus, but use it the right way. That's the essence. And you really have to do something, because 9/11 happened. People keep laughing at this away, but 9/11 happened. And they announced it in advance. World War I. The Jews, Zionist Jews, get Palestine. World War II, they get Israel. I mean, World War III is also planned, and it's going to happen if you don't stop them. They might stop, they have said, if we all acknowledge the truth and stick together. They've told us that literally. If you do that, okay, then we will think about it again. Okay. I hope you understood the big idea, what I'm telling you here. I think it's so clear. But okay, I will end with a strange coincidence. Or coincidence, I don't know. Maybe this can inspire you. I was about to record this video. I drank some coffee, put on the TV, and this show, Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, was on TV. This is where antiques dealers have to buy and sell stuff. Immediately this came on, and I will show it to you because it's so unbelievable, but it really happened.
Quite fantastic. So I've had it framed, and on the reverse as well is the certificate that came with it from the gallery in France. I'd say it's too rich, I don't know what's coming next, but yeah, I think it's a really nice painting, really good. But the price tag for this is £1,200, I think.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but a few hours ago, before I wanted to make this video, I turned on TV and this came on. This is a star shining, and this is the Jesus figure, of course, and these are the star signs that are the symbolically the 12 apostles. I mean, okay, think of it whatever you want, but many of these coincidences have happened, and never in my life have I seen on TV a painting like this. And now I make this video, and at the same time, an hour before it, I see this on TV. Exactly what I was explaining, what I explained to you. Jesus is the pole star, and it is shown in this painting. I mean, I think that's incredible, and I think there is control beyond control. There might be so many things that we don't know. That's all I'm saying with this.